When we accept that suffering is a part of life, only then would we know of nirvana. There was this one time when I went out to do some art chores. They were art orders from our online shop and got to the printing place where we have our art prints done. It was a very new shop to me. It's closer to home, far closer than where we used to have our art prints printed. But the location was a bit new to me. Even if I had gone there a few times already, I wasn't as familiar, and for some reason, I always got lost. Maybe it was just unfamiliarity, or all the streets looked alike, and it felt like a puzzle of houses. I don't remember exactly, but I wasn't having a good day that day when I came to pick up the orders that time. I was a bit down, probably some problem I was thinking about, rumination on this or that or the other, as I was threading through the streets finding the print shop. I knew I was lost, but I was just in the vicinity. If I had internet on my phone at the time, I could have easily accessed Google Maps, but I didn't. So I was walking around in circles, trying to find my way. I wasn't irritated at all. I was just trying to look for my way at my own pace, just trying to absorb the moment and think of things as I walked. Then suddenly, I saw all these yellow and golden leaves on the ground. They were falling petals from a narrow tree. The petals were decorating the bland cement street like it was autumn in Manila. I found it to be a very beautiful sight. I then took it all in, looking up at the tree, and seeing some more petals dance in the air as they fell slowly down. Beaming through the leaves was the afternoon sun, and it was warm and not harsh, like a loving hug. Then I looked to the side of the street and discovered a small Buddhist temple. It was the four-faced Buddha temple, and there was a statue of a four-faced Buddha sitting inside. I was in awe at what was in front of me. It was cooped in this apartment-type residence in Pedro Guevara St. The place was almost identical to the one next to it, but this apartment stood out because the temple gate was open, and the statue was able to be glimpsed at from the outside. Upon seeing the four-faced Buddha statue, I felt some sort of calm and also a profound feeling of finding a hidden treasure in the midst of getting lost. Maybe in fact I thought that it was a good thing that I got lost for me to be found. Maybe we sometimes lose ourselves to find our true selves. The calmness overflowed within me, and I started to think that my problems weren't as bad as I thought, and that I can and will find a way to solve them. And then I suddenly thought that all of this pain, this suffering, getting lost, getting to a point of happiness and calmness, we can only ever appreciate it when we have suffered. The feeling of being found was much more significant because I felt the feeling of being lost, of being alone, of never being found, of not finding the right way. That we can appreciate the beauty of things more because we have witnessed the ugly. That we have seen the true horror of our sins and mistakes, and when perfection or the simplicity of a precious thing like an unknown path of petals that lay on the ground, we appreciate its beauty and not just step on them blindly. Then I thought of these very words. When we accept that suffering is a part of life, only then would we know of nirvana. For me, realizing and accepting it put me in a calm Zen-like state. That we shouldn't be bothered if we suffered a bit. That we shouldn't be irritated when we get something wrong or if we have problems right now, or feel some sort of pain, either physical or emotional. There are ways to tackle it and end it. But while we are there, we should also appreciate it. Because it was given to us and we shall take it as a blessing, for without it, we wouldn't know the true meaning of the other. When there is a lack, we can appreciate something more when it's there. And when it is not anymore there, we can appreciate it even further. The same goes for suffering. We have to appreciate the feeling of the pain. Well, we can still feel it, and maybe when it is gone, we might even miss it. But to anything, we know that whatever pain or suffering we go through, it is only sunlight for our souls to grow. Upon writing this, I searched the internet for the meaning of the four-faced Buddha, and it gave me this description. The front face represents career and life. Continuing clockwise, the second is symbolic of relationship and family, the third is for wealth, and the last for wisdom and health. Looking at everything now, it would seem that all of the thoughts that I had while walking were clouding my mind then. Thoughts of lack, my place in the industry and my art career, my health, my wife's perception of me, our son's future, and my comprehension of things, especially at that point getting lost, reflecting my inner being. All of these negative and intrusive thoughts were banished by the four-faced Buddha upon seeing it. Truly the Lord works in mysterious ways, sending angels and guides to those who are lost, and when we least expect it, a guiding hand, a road paved with flowers leads us to the right path. When the alleviation of evil leaves our heart, the feeling of elation remains forever on us.